All right, guys. Not gonna play any music today. I'm kind of in a rush a little bit. Not planning to stay for long. I know it's a live stream, but usually you guys are going to find the computer to find the video later on anyway. So I don't. Well, let me see, just in case somebody wrote something, I want to address it. So right now I am going to talk about GameStop, obviously. Apologize, have not been live for a long while. Couple days, not that much, but I had some problem with my internet and all that stuff, so just got a new modem or router, so it should be a-okay. I'm trying to still figure out the extension too, so but hopefully this is fast enough for all of you to enjoy. But hold on, let me look at my channel real quick here. Okay, give me a minute. All of you to okay, sorry about that. There we go. All right, so it looks like Lionel's here. Yeah, what's up? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I don't know. So let's look at, of course, let's look at the balance sheets real quick, but let's look at the price action as well. So as I was saying, I have not been on for a while, a little bit busy, and then the modem situation is I just don't want to deal with it, but yeah, so hopefully this is going to be good. But within the couple days that I was not in live, price movement's not too bad right here. It looks like it's following this channel right here. Not saying it's not gonna ever come down here, but it seems like the volume that kind of supported this line right here kind of come out very strong, right? So if you look at it closely right here, every time it hits this line down here, it seems to bounce up pretty quickly. It could quicksand down to this level right here. That's why I had it originally right there, around 1624. So be looking out for that level. But again, it's not guaranteed that it's going to come down to that price point. If you look at this toolkit or this tool right here, it's called Fibonacci. For those of you who doesn't know what that means, it just means that this line seems to get interacted pretty well. But usually you measure from the bottom to the top, and if you look at a different way, I don't know. I think GameStop doesn't trade on, technical for a while now because, of all of this, like, very exaggerated movement, If you look at a different stock, I think you're going to see the exact, or close to anyway, the interaction with these level a lot more smoothly, right? But again, this is just an arbitrary, way of looking at this. I mean, you could kind of say that, well, the body of the candle is a better way to measure this. If that's the case, you could see that the line does kind of fall in line with that. Like, it went up and then down, hit, kind of interact with this 0.618 right there, right? And then it went up, trying to like reach the, like, I guess, double top right here, right? And then coming back down, interact with this 0382, all that stuff too. Yes, I would like to stay under 12 shares for Christmas. Wait, you want to accumulate 12 shares? Is that what you're trying to say? Until Christmas? I mean, that's good. I mean, below 12, I don't know. I don't think you could get to that price, honestly, because like it was at 12 for a while right here, but it's just rocket up to the moon, right? Maybe it's just to kind of, leave some people behind because they didn't want to buy it at, around 12 or 1181, 1183 right there. So, a period of time when you could get it at under 15 to 12, that price range has only been for, hold on, how long? Only been for around a month or so, right? No, this is, hold on. This is a 4-minute candle. This is a 1-day candle. So if you want to kind of measure that, if you want to see that, that's like around 30 days. So you would have had only 30 days to accumulate around this price range right here at $15 or below. With this interaction right here, that level, I kind of like draw the conclusion that it's because of this price action right here. There's a lot of interaction right there. And so that's why 12 was kind of like a level that I was watching to see if it's going to bounce. And it's kind of did, pretty violent too, to the upside. But I don't know, again, like it could technically come down here as well to kind of capture this, this level right there. And, I mean, if you look at the historical price action too, it does interact with other, in the history of the price action for GameStop. So, I'm still looking out for the lower level, but I wouldn't bet it on going lower than 12, honestly. So, and that's why it's so important to accumulate if you believe this company in the long term. To accumulate as much as you can at the lower price, like automatic. So I think that's a lower stress way of doing things, right? Okay, so that's that. If you look at the price, that's what we got right there. What to expect tomorrow? So there's a lot of indication that there might be a pullback, because if you look at the SPY, I don't know, again, if you are following it as closely as I have. And the reason why I follow the SPY as well is because when the S&P 500 moved down, that's kind of a very hard thing to ignore, right? Because it's such a big market indicator. And usually when the S&P turned down, going down, the whole market, including GameStop's going to go down as well, right? So currently, we are going to reach the all-time high right there. That was back in, after all of the stimulus and all of the, shenanigan, lockdown, and, for some reason, stock market keep going up and up, right? It makes no sense because they were pumping liquidity, pumping a lot of money, printing and all that stuff, stimulus check and all that, PPP loan, you name it, to try to prop up the company up. And as a result, you have a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of companies, businesses that are zombie company that was relying on those to survive. So that's why it's called zombie company. And so when that happens, what happens? Like you have companies out there who doesn't know how to make money, with the exception of receiving money from the government, right? So that is the conundrum, is that if you have so much money slushing in the market, what's going to happen? You have stuff like this happen where it doesn't trade on the fundamental, so to speak, of the actual GDP itself, right? So again, it's a form of manipulation, obviously. Big money out there, they could move markets like this to the upside. So if you look at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, the last 8 weeks, we have been going up like crazy. Okay. Now, this is a projection, obviously, based on the historical price action. So it seems like the most likely path is up, right? How high, we don't know. I mean, we could speculate on, hold on, let me kind of through a fib here. Not quite sure if that's gonna work though. Hold on. If I throw a fib from here to here, see, it traced back to the halfway point and then keep going up. So right there, I think the model is kind of taking account of the Fibonacci as well. That's why you see this right here. Again, I'm not saying it's going to go that high in a few days or so, but I think it could run for another year, or it could not. See what I mean? Because there are other indicator that it might kind of pull back. So if you look at this one right here, it could start in a couple of days right there, right? So it's going to follow this second possibility right there. So I think that's the most, well, if you look at this model right here, so 1, 2, 3. So the model predict that tomorrow or in a couple of days, until January 2nd right there, it's going to go high, and then it could immediately turn down because of the double top right here. Again, this pattern, it's just a estimation. Of course, nobody could predict, the direction of the market, all that clearly. All we could do is just predicting, okay, what's the bond market is doing, right? And because the bond market kind of predict the future of the stock market. Stock market, again, it's a price action. Sometimes it's psychological. If they're telling you in the news that it's doing well, I think it's probably the opposite, right? So never mind the bond yield going down by 100 basis points. Yeah, that is stealing. What is stealing? But as I was saying, because the bond market is usually the predictor of the whole stock market. Again, people might, funds out there, again, they are trying to make the money the rest of the year, and so usually they pump the market up. Famously called Santa rally, so to speak, and it usually rally into the end of the year, and maybe a little bit like halfway through mid-January. That is when they start to pull back, the market in order to, again, take profits and, dump on retail, so to speak. So just keep an eye on that. I think it's due for a pullback. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow or next week. So just see that as it is. All right. So what I was following as well, before we go into the balance sheets here, and it's nothing new. I'm just going to try to kind of explain it in a different way so people could understand what is what, right? The balance sheets wise. Okay, what is the market cap? What is the revenue? What is the growth revenue whatsoever. But anyway, so let's look at the crypto market real quick here. Mutable X been doing pretty well, but it's been pulled back. But if you look at like the last 6 months or so, it's pretty good, Hold on. Ugh, keep getting the wrong. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So if you look at the price right here, it's $2.16 right now. But if you bought it a month ago, it would have been at $1 something. $1.60. Wait, hold on. $1.72 up here, but it's around 60 cents right there. $1.60. So you would have been doubling your money already if you have this token right here. But it's kind of related to GameStop. That's why I pointed out Mutable X. It's a gaming token that allow you to transact on the network without fee, right? Is it Ethereum based? I don't know that as much. I need to do more research. Currently, I don't own any Mutable X. That's why I don't really do much attention to pay much attention to it. But it's one of the coins that I wish I owned at 20 cents. I did see that, but again, it's not one of the long-term thing that I was thinking of. But it seems like they're doing a lot better now, because if you look at their Twitter account right here, Mutable X won another 12 games in the last last week. So they've been developing a lot of games on their network, and you can see it on NFT Marketplace for GameStop as well. So they are still continue to build. It's just that again that NFT Marketplace needs to wait for the regulator first. Ellen, thank you for coming. I'm hoping my other stock squeeze so that I can buy more Jimmy. What other stock do you own, if you don't mind me asking? SoFi? I mean, that I know, like, that's the dream of mine too. That's why I fell for the Bed Bath and Beyond and the AMC, like the earlier stage of me thinking, oh, let me just put here real quick because it seems like it's run faster than GameStop, right? And that's the enticing part, is that they want you to think that you should be selling GameStop because GameStop doesn't do much, right? Like, look at the price action, and they always point out the price action. Look at the price action. Look at the price action, because they want you to focus on the price. But again, like, they don't want you to accumulate this at the low. They want you to feel so psychologically drained when you see all this drop right here. It's like from here to here. What is that? Like, if you were to buy it here, that's 50%, 56%, right? But if you buy it from up top right here, like I did, I think it was around here somewhere, around March or May, June. I think it's around here, like around this choppy little thing right here that I got in. So yeah, my portfolio right now, it's down by 70%. And so again, they want you to, it's like, let's just sell it out right now, 30% of your, like, it's better some money than none, right? So, but of course I didn't. Like, why would I? Like, if I believe in the company up here, there's no reason for me to sell out right now. Like, in fact, I'm accumulating. Like, I'm planning to accumulate even more. So, anyway, so yeah, crypto's been coming down a little bit. I think it's retracing, the level. Let me see which level I was looking at. I think one of those. Hold on, which one did I have? I think it's this one. I was mapping out some lines right here. Wow. That's pretty spot on right there. Oh, okay. So I was looking up right here. So I think it's gonna kind of fall back when it reached this level, which is $48,000, or even a little bit further, because usually Bitcoin kind of like overshoot and then just drop like a rock until the next cycle. But currently, if you want to map this out, I think it's like around this cycle right here. It might not play exactly as it is, but if it is, then it's gonna go up to around $50,000, and then it's gonna trail back, meaning like it's going to consolidate, so to speak. And if you were to kind of draw that line right there, I think that's 60%, right? So if you were to map the top to the bottom, 64%, okay? How did I get that number? It's like from the top over here, all-time high, to the bottom of the second, right there, right? That's 68%. Why did I didn't go all over here? This was the anomaly of the fear of COVID. So that's why it dropped like a rock like that, because people were like, the end of the world, right? So same thing might happen here. I think I said this before, it's gonna pull up to the $50,000 and then just trailing off again, kind of slowly coming down to around here, and then it's going to continue, right? But that's going to take some time. Like that could be over a year time span, right? And so if you were to measure from here to the next one around here, look at the bar. So every bar is 1 day, so 186 days until you gonna see the next bull run. So, and this is why the media is pumping it right now, because they're planning to rinse and repeat it again. They didn't tell you to buy it around here, they tell you to sell, okay? And then they tell you to buy around here. How does that make any sense? It doesn't. So, hey Jay, what's up? Merry Christmas. No, it's not Christmas yet, but yeah, it's Christmas week, so Santa Claus is coming to town, I guess, for crypto for now, I feel like. All right. And, Marantz was mentioning this part right here. It's kind of comical at this point in time. We all know, hold on, for those of you who doesn't have Twitter, I think it was Marantz Rants channel. So, I know Lionel doesn't have any Twitter, so I'm going to show him real quick here. Where did it go? Where did I see it? Sorry, you guys, 1 second. Oh, right here. So, of course, this is GME, right? But the ticker symbol is GME, obviously, we know that. But let's listen in and I'll come back and comment on it later.
And this is what they're allowed to release. Misinformation, GME supply company, above the GME ticker, which is not the same. That's GameStop up there. This right here, that high GME supply recruits president and chief officer. They're trying to confuse people. Don't fall for it. Secondly, this is Yahoo Finance who publishes this stuff. Hey, Yahoo Finance, since you push out misinformation, we all know the truth. We connect dots. We know who the parent company is, Yahoo Finance, don't you? Apollo Global Management. Said it forever. Good luck, guys. Be careful out there, millionaires. Be careful. They want to put out some headlines. Be careful.
You see, like, this type of stuff, they do it all the time. And this is Yahoo Finance, the same network that, tell you that Ryan Cohen is a failure. Fundamentally, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't, try to turn this company around. Fundamentally, has failed so many times. It's like he doesn't know what he's doing, right? And then, they put out stuff like this to try to misdirect people who doesn't know anything about GME. Perhaps they've just heard about it. Oh, GME is going to go up. And so they're probably like, oh, GME supply? Really? It really doesn't make any sense. I don't even know what this is, right? And so, again, it's to try to deter people to even look up what GME is, or even get to know the GME the right way, the real GME, right? And I think I feel like they did this all last time too. And I think also too, this is why they push AMC Entertainment, not AMC X. I think AMC X was the one that was shorted to oblivion, not GME, and not AMC Entertainment, the theater, but the AMCX, the network. And if you look at the balance sheets for that company, it was pretty good, even until today. Like, it's actually a pretty good company to look into. And they just put out that misinformation site. And, remember, they were like targeting high short interest company. And that's why Nokia and every single company that is not GameStop got pumped versus GameStop. So again, misdirection, right? They just steer a lot of people, misdirect them so that they just not care about GME anymore, right? So, and I'm sure you watched this one. That was a good, informative, very, detailed, stuff. So Immutable X is the one that I show you. For those of you who doesn't know what that is, it is a gaming, platform that you could build games on, right? And you could, exchange assets if you wanted to on the blockchain itself. So again, they're keeping on building. They're not stopping at all. I know the media would love you to believe that it's a failure of a platform and it's amount to nothing and all that stuff, but it's coming. It's in the future of gaming. It's in the future of owning your own digital asset of anything. Like, again, and I've told people this before in my previous video, like years ago. I've just been here for like less than a year, but 11 months ago, if you kind of look back to my video, I talked about like the NFT marketplace, right? What is the NFT itself? NFT could be anything at all. So the fact that GameStop has that platform, they could turn it into anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Movie ticket, concert ticket, a backstage pass from, your most favorite, influencer, so to speak, right? Again, like GameStop could turn that platform into that type of, I guess, the middleman for digital goods and services being exchanged, and every single transaction go to GameStop, right? But again, we still have to wait for the regulation, and I'm sure they keep an eye on it. And once we know what the rule of law is, we're going to follow it, and we're going to position ourselves to capture that blockchain, aspect of things. Hopefully, it's not going to be too long. Within 5, 6, 10 years, or even 15 years, right? I haven't seen this one yet. Okay, let's listen in.
Companies around until they die. They pass them around for fees. and they cut them up. They try to make them more valuable than the next or make it look like they are. But that's not the case. They're all on a timetable. There's a 2-year fund, there's a 5-year fund, there's a 10-year fund. They eventually have to return some type of profit to the limited partners, the LPs that actually put in. So that's what they plan on doing. And how they do it, they just pass it to each other. So all of these guys have all this dry powder because they're about to start passing around these companies. Now, these companies before, if you were in a cycle, they were in a light covey cycle. Now you're in covey heavy. It's hard, right? The covenants are heavy. That means it's hard to borrow money without these strict, I guess, prerequisites for what you're going to do with the money or with the company. They'll be like, hey, we need to have 5 people on the board of directors. You need to have $500 million cash on hand. You need X, Y, and Z. Well, guess what? A lot of these companies are failing on covenants. Some financial firms go ahead and suspend covenants just to make them last a little longer. Or they do things that are really dumb. If you guys don't know about the really dumb things, like share buybacks when you have no cash, like dividends when you're strapped on cash, like doing mergers and acquisitions right now when there's, 6%, 7% APR. You guys go ahead and figure out the way these companies here destroy companies that could make it, that could survive, but they do it anyway. So we've talked about it in detail, guys. Go watch Netflix. Go watch, I guess you can go to YouTube. Go watch that and watch Connect the Dots. Google it. Connect the Dots on YouTube. And then you guys will find out more information on how private equity is killing companies from within. But it's okay because there's always going to be one winner and one loser, I guess. And in this case, I'm going to win because I'm not invested with anything they're up against. I'm in GameStop, or I should say anything that they're up with. I'm in GameStop. If you guys do not understand why I'm in GameStop, why people don't know, oh, you like video games. It has a lot to do with that, and it has a little bit to do with that because I actually did the homework. Here's the homework. These private equity firms bet against GameStop, and they lost, and they still haven't paid for it. So they better have a lot of cash collateral for their short position, for their bond bets that they're making, because you know who's going to lose. All of these guys. And who's going to win? Well, GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Let me know, millionaires. I think I'm right. Peace.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that makes a total sense, you know. Yeah, if you haven't watched that serial already, I'm sure if everybody, oh wow, there's a lot more people. Hi, everybody. It's like I didn't even pay attention to the people, but yeah, you're welcome. I just played a whole Moran's rants over here. I apologize if he's watching. Sorry to steal your thunder over here. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm sure he doesn't mind. But yeah, it's like what he's saying is so true. And you know, I found out because of him, of his Connect the Dots series. It's one of those things where, you know, it opens your eyes to why are those companies, the most successful company like Sears and, you know, Blockbuster, you know, people think that Blockbuster was like making terrible decision because they just are behind the time, right? But come to think about it, it's actually because they make it by choice. They did that on purpose to bankrupt the company from within. Because again, like when you destroy the company from within, the cash that comes back to you, it's actually very, very fast. You know, instead of, you know, spending 10 years making billions of dollars, you could technically do it within 3 or 1 or even 2 years, right? So, I mean, so that you don't raise the alarm, you know, it's like, oh, why are they doing this and that? So they do it slowly, but it's still quicker than building it from the ground up, right? To make money that way. And the only way that they could ensure to do that is to plant those people, you know, on the board, and so that, you know, they could short it on the other side of it as well. So again, like it's a collusion, it's, you know, all of it, all of the above, right? Of course, you know, people seem to think that, oh, we don't have any, you know, evidence that that is the case, you know, that just because private equity is in it doesn't mean that it's they're bad or anything. They're just there to facilitate the company or to manage the fall, you know, just like Hannah was saying. It's like, no, not really. You know, if they're there and they're part of the group that could leak information, that's also another Another trick that they do too is that, when they have people planted, those people are gonna tell, the other group of people is like, hey, they're into this, so go ahead, build a company that does that, and then try to undercut them somehow, right? So they could bankrupt the company that way as well. And one example that Moran's kind of pointed out too is that, the Epic Gaming, the Epic Gaming that make Fortnite, right? They make Fortnite to try to undermine GameStop in that way as well, as a digital game, physical game versus digital narrative. It comes from that. And so, eroded by little, and the reason why they're so egregious at shorting GameStop is because they thought it was a done deal, because they have their people in there. There's no way that they could make enough money at this point. We already spent enough money already on the dividends. Remember, like, GameStop actually paid dividend up until the, I think, the pandemic, right? I think they just paused that either because they didn't have enough money or we pose a negative, too much in the negative side, trailing 12, so to speak. And so that's why they stopped it then, but they did pay like 30 cents or something like that. You could probably see it here. Let's try to find it. I think it was. I should know this. Like, what does it? The comprehension dividend. Sorry, you guys. So, revenue, debt, goodwill, cash flow, maybe dividend pay right here. So up until, okay, so dividend paid, we don't pay anything since Ryan Cohen got in. So you see how there's like negative. That means they paid dividend at that time. So they just slow it down during around 2019 right there. Now Ryan Cohen got in this quarter right here. I think a month after this, on November 2020th, that's when he wrote the board of director the letter. And after that, dividend was being stopped, right? Now, I don't know if that's the doing of Ryan Cohen. Ryan Cohen saw the influence of that kind of spearhead, or they're just running out of money at that time. But again, up until then, look, $156 million is gone, 127. You see what I mean? So you see all this money being spent, but then, at the same time, we're in the middle of pandemic. So it's almost like they're trying to depleting the cash, right? On purpose, so that they would go to shareholder eventually to dilute them, for more cash. And then, loading on debt, expanding, just like Morantz was saying on his video, it makes sense when he talks like that. And then, and then you just kind of spread it to a different company. Like Sears, for example, if you look at the history of Sears, why are they going bankrupt, right? Like all the big big company out there that are currently, being publicly traded. So, and then you could kind of come out of that with the idea that, this is why the middle class has been eroded, because most of us put money in the S&P 500, right? Kind of like mindlessly, not knowing what's going on, and seeing why is it not growing, And then you kind of like, oh, and even if it grows, it's not growing that fast anyway, because the fees that they're taking from your 401k, unless you kind of stash it in kind of like more than the actual fee itself, you're not going to be like benefiting from it, right? You've heard about people just stash or not even putting in enough to cover the fee, right? Initially, obviously. So hopefully it's going to, you're going to increase over time. But those fees, usually they erode your growth of the 401k, even with the compound effect, right? So that's why Warren Buffett is like, you're better off just get into a low fee, low index fund, sign up for Vanguard, go to the indexed fund that is not from all this big institution that claims to do so much for your portfolio, but all they're doing is just going to that same index fund, like a very low fee, and just park it in there. But anyway, so you're better off doing it yourself rather than have somebody else managing your money for you. But of course, people don't want to take that responsibility, right? And that's the mess that we're in right now, is that we're trusting our investment with other people that doesn't give a hoot about anyone but themselves, right? Again, they collect fees, so no matter what, whether the market goes up or down, they make that fees back from your portfolio. So that's the idea of it. Okay, so let's go to balance sheets right here. So of course, I'm sure most of you kind of familiar with this already. I think what I was alluding to is the conversation that I had with Lionel. Okay, before. Hi, Jay. So GameStop already won. It's all inevitable. TikTok can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. Yes, I agree with you. But some people might not know that, Jay. So you have to kind of reiterate the balance sheet, and that's why I steal people from all the hype. But let's look at the balance sheets and kind of prove them that way too. And even with this type of balance sheets, people are still like, they're still losing money. I'm like, okay, well, let's think about it, right? And this is the conversation that I have with Lionel too. So Lionel, this is going to be in a review with you, but it's one of those things where I was like, okay, so you're saying that GameStop, the fact that they're losing $8 million right here, right? Another Jay is here. Hi, Jay, what's up? Thank you for joining. So GameStop lost $8 million, right? So if you put into your own the context of, everyday people, right? Let's say you earn, I don't know, $3,000 a month, okay? Baller over here, I know. 3,000 for people. Some people it's not that much, but let's do $3,000 a month, right? And then everything that you earn, like mortgage or whatever. Let's say of all the $3,000 a month, every month you spend $3,000 and $10. So let's go a little bit higher. I don't know. $50. Let's say every single month you lose $50, right? And then somebody just come to you and say, you know what? You should just quit your job right now because you're losing $50 without anything. You just quit and then just go and not making money at all. Because you're losing $50 a month. How does that make any sense to anyone, right? Because currently that's what people are saying. GameStop should just file for bankruptcy right now because they're not making money. Okay, well, let's stop and think for a minute. So you're telling me I'm earning, currently I have an income coming in, $3,000 a month. The only problem that I have is that I'm spending $50 more than I earn currently. Okay? So what is the next solution? The solution is not to quit my job, right? The immediate solution is to cut back. How about that? How about instead of, going to Starbucks every day, why not just not get Starbucks every day and see how much money you're going to get, you're going to make, you're going to save, right? And so that's what currently happened with GameStop, is that currently they're losing $8 million. $8 million a year. So can they cut back that $8 million a year? I mean, is it doable? I mean, how doable is that? So it's the equivalent of cutting Starbucks from your day, in order to, instead of losing $50 a day or $50 a month, in that scenario, now you hopefully make a little bit more, right? You're going to have some leftover with a little bit, I guess, inconvenience of you having to make coffee for yourself every morning instead of going to Starbucks, right? So there you go. That's all that you have to do. You don't have to quit your job, right? And then later on, you could be like, have some room to be like, instead of just doing the job, maybe just having a side hustle, right? So a side hustle would be for GameStop, that analogy, we would have the ability to invest in other company, right? So there you go. I mean, that's the analogy that I, come up with. I feel like I'm a genius already that I came up with that. Howdy, my Tesla bro. Wait, Jay, you still invest in Tesla? I feel like it's overvalued. Am I incorrect in saying that? Hold on, let me see. Tesla. Are you of the opinion that Tesla is like a technology company? I feel like at the moment it's overhyped. I do like the fact that they don't have any goodwill. Oh, they do have goodwill. I don't know where I got that from. Wait, what did I like about Tesla? Okay, Jay Gervin, he likes Tesla. Okay. Could you present me a bull case for Tesla? Because I'm not sold on it, honestly. I just feel like it's one of those companies that is overhyped. I mean, retaining earnings pretty good. Okay, $19 billion. Book value. See, $16. But if you were to kind of compare, $16. Wait, $16 divided by this amount right here. That's 6% equity ratio. It's the only other stocks. I can't see the rest of this one. It's the only other stock I have. Okay. Is that what you say? I see. Okay, we'll sell some Tesla to go into more GameStop. How about that? I don't know. No, I wouldn't do that. Okay, it's like the owner, okay, of ETF. Okay, so much income in one company. So many incomes in one company. I know, but don't you think those the Cybertruck delivery was kind of like a flop too? He was overhyping it for so long, and then come to it, the delivery wasn't that great, and the quality wasn't that great, and then also too, it was very expensive. I remember when he was launching it, and he said, "Oh, it was going to be only about $30,000," and now it's turned out to be like over $100,000. I have the most GME in California. Oh, okay. So you do have a lot of GME. But yeah, I mean, currently I don't own Tesla. I remember buying Tesla at like $100 or something. So I'm regretting selling it at like, I did take a like a 10% gain, and I was so happy for that. But I do regret not holding it for a long term though. But that was before the split, like a couple split. So I bought it 2017, and I didn't hold it for a long term. I didn't believe in it, honestly. Again, I didn't have the knowledge that I have today, and that's why I advocate for long-term investing. It's a lot more value created, and in terms of long-term long-term capital gains and all that. It's so good. Wait. You have more than 100,000 shares of GameStop? Is that what you're saying? That's insanity. Are you a billionaire by now? I feel like should be. Or you're talking about like in dollar terms. That's insane. If that's the case, that's insane. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you were the early investor too. Man, Jay, congratulations. But like you probably were the earlier investor who believed in GameStop when it was like at $1 or so, right? So, man, that's like that means if GameStop hit 100, you'd be $1 million. That's $1 million, right? It's well, you know how they say it's like, don't put your eggs in one basket, right? And I think at sometimes you gotta, because this is how you build wealth, is to become to have conviction in one thing, right? But that's also dangerous too. What if you're wrong about GameStop? What if GameStop is not going to be that? And this is why you have to follow it like a hawk, because if you're wrong about leadership, if you're wrong about the direction of the company, it could hurt you very, very, very much. But if you're right, though, you're life-changing, right? Life-changing. I agree with Jay, although I don't have that many shares. I have about 100,000. No, I'm kidding. I have about 1,000, like 1,000 share and up a little bit. A little bit more than 1,000. That's all I have for now. Of course, I'm gonna accumulate more. Hopefully, I'm gonna get to 100,000 shares at one point in my life. So, all my eggs. Okay. Okay. I respect that, Jay. Honestly, I respect that. You have the guts for it. So I would say that all of my Roth IRA are in GME. Yes. I could do that, but I couldn't do the rest of it because the rest of it is in my 401k and all that stuff. So I do have that kind of safety net if anything happened to GameStop, right? So yes, that's give me a heart attack right there. But that is the true believer right there. And I think, that's what make people a lot of money when, 10 years from now, GameStop does what it does and do well. Brian Cohen's going to be able to kind of find a way to make this company, like more revenue, more, I don't know, income base, the fact that they could buy more company, that's another thing too. So, yeah, I mean, the future of this company is bright, to say the least. And I feel like, up until this point, the media should just give up already. Because all the bad news that happened to this or about this company, it's just ridiculous. Look at this. It's like they're trying to say GameStop climbed more than 5%, resume its rally, and then they're saying that, meme stock is back, the darling of the meme stock, and that's the only reason why it's coming back. But the thing is, like, if you look at the article, says nothing about the fundamental of the company. What is this? Why is this not? What the hell? I hate it when they do this thing where you have to like create no, I don't want to give you money bashing GameStop. But I bet you anything, this article doesn't have nothing to do with the earnings, how they're becoming a holding company now, right? Nothing like that. They're just going to be like, oh, it's a frenzy, feeding frenzy. It's always those type of terms to try to steer people away from this awesome company here. When it hit 100, I'll have 10 million. Wow. Oh, right. I forgot. I don't know how to do math. I'm sorry. I was like, 1 million? Is that 1 million? That's insanity. I really think you could be a billionaire in 10 years, Jay. I believe that, because if GameStop hit 1,000, right, and then they do more acquisition and then hit another 1,000 and then 10x, like $10,000. Man, do you think Ryan Cohen's gonna do a stock split, or is he gonna do like Berkshire Hathaway style? It's like currently, like if you look at Berkshire Hathaway, it was like $300,000 a share, right? Something crazy. Okay. Share costs. Oh my God, really? Like 3 years ago when I checked it, it was 300,000. Now it's 500,000. Hold on. Man, yeah, like around here, I was looking at it. It was like $300,000 a share. So now it's even like double the amount. And this is why Warren Buffett is such an iconic investor, and I looked up to him too because again, like he knows that long term, compounding of just not doing stupid stuff, and just grow slowly but surely to where you are right now. I mean, if you look at this ridiculousness. So hold on. Okay. At one point, 1983, you could get this company for $1,350. Okay. 3 years later, no, 3 years later, sorry. Okay, so if you do the math, hold on, I'm trying to show people something here. So bear with me. So in 40 years, okay, so this is a 40 years, journey over here. So 1,000, you could turn $1,350 into a 500,000. It's like, man, it's like, okay, $1,000 back then. Okay, you could argue, okay, due to inflation, it's probably feel like $5,000, right? But even then, that's 100x from here in 40 years, though. Again, 40 years, that's a lifetime for somebody. Now I'm not saying GameStop's going to be, it's going to take that long. But again, by that time, within the 10-year time span, can they at least 5x it? I think they can, easily, just on the fundamental alone, Thank you for joining, Jay. Appreciate you. NYT brother. Okay. Tesla went up to $20 from $20 to, wow, 6,000. Yeah, after the split, right? Jay, okay, you're close to another J there. That's cool. I hope that's 90,099 shares, right? Close to J. That's cool. Yeah, that's good. 10,000, even 10,000. That's like a lot too, man. That's a lot. Yes. But anyway, so this is the Berkshire Hathaway. So this is the future of GameStop, you guys. So currently, technically we could kind of divide it in 10 or even in 100. So even that, in 40 years, GameStop could be, like $5,000 from what it is today, How did I get that number? All I just did was divide this number by 100, because what is the price of GameStop right now? It's $17.72 right now. Okay, so that's why I did that. So just in case you don't know where I got my number from. Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous, and honestly, I think it's due to the policy, the money printing and all that stuff too, so that kind of exacerbate all of this gain from Berkshire Hathaway, into the most valuable company, and the fact that he buy and hold stock for a long time. He doesn't even want to sell it. I mean, Coca-Cola, I bet he probably hold it for at least 30 years already, buying into Coca-Cola. How about See's Candy, and how about Geico, those companies are valuable. And another thing that people don't realize is that the what is it called? The accredited investor, barrier to people like you and me, for me anyway. Jay is fine. Jay is a millionaire already, so I'm sure he could invest in those privately owned company. Me, no, I'm not a millionaire, so I can't invest in those privately owned company unless I have $1 million liquid in my bank, not including my house. So I can't have that. So now GameStop allow me to do this, right? Through proxy, through Ryan Cohen, right? Of course, I have to trust Ryan Cohen to pick those company for me. But he have access to those privately owned company like Geico for Berkshire Hathaway, right? Like See's Candy, like those type of company, I have no access to. And so I'm sure he's going to pick, just my speculation here, a company that is related to GameStop in some way. Perhaps like gaming, company that is profitable or manageable or small enough that he could control outright. And then, they could make awesome games, awesome memorabilia. And that's another thing too. How about a clothing store that nobody knows about and, very profitable and very efficient in how they run. All they need is just some capital to expand. So boom, now you have your own clothing store. Perhaps, to create, GameStop apparels and all that stuff too. So those things probably is coming into in the future, So I mean, you could speculate anything, Ryan Cohen could do anything at this point with GameStop money, $1.2 billion is a lot of money. Like, you can't, like, I think currently he's just trying to sit tight with that money and just waiting for the opportunity. I'm sure he knows about the recessions and the bond yield and all that stuff. And he's a lot better trader than you and I could ever dream of, I feel like. And also too, he have access to a lot of smart people around him. Carl Icahn, right? We know that he's kind of have some admiration towards the guy. I'm sure he draws inspiration from Warren Buffett as well, I think I've seen in his previous tweet that, what did he say? Let's look at it together. So kind of refresh our memory here. Something about like Carl Icahn by day, Warren Buffett by night or something like that. Very early on though, when he said that. And corporate America is a wolf in a liberal clothing. He quotes stuff like this that makes you feel like he is. He understands how the working class has been eroded for a long time. Not quite sure what this means. It's like saying something about China, I think. Turtleneck. Reference to Steve Jobs, Apple, right? I know I have, but you have made it when you buy a turtleneck. Yeah. So references Steve Jobs, obviously. French girl. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to find that. See, Carl Icahn. So this guy is the activist investor or corporate takedown type thing or corporate takeover. He's famous for some airline company that he was turning around, and of course, like he massively profit off of that because he was turning it around. Yeah. Okay, trillions of dollars. So if you print a few trillion more, it should bring inflation down. Of course, this is just a mockery of what happened. This is back in 22. Yeah, I'm just looking for that quote. And of course, like he admired his father too. So that's like one of the things that I'm sure makes his work ethic a lot better than most billionaires out there who, got a handout from their family. People like Ryan Cohen, I think that he's very valuable to these people too. Oh, hi everybody. Sorry. I just noticed a few more people joining. Welcome. But And then, of course, like power to the player. That's our slogan here for GameStop. Work is so sexy. So he's all about rolling the sleeve, and you could kind of tell, if you look at his work ethic, and he just heads down, focusing on the work. Doesn't matter what people are saying, and you just showed up, right? You just go to work and then drop the number every quarter, and he doesn't need to say anything. Like, the media is just going crazy when Ryan Cohen doesn't even speak at the earnings call. It's like, oh, why don't they like tell their CFO or CFO CEO to go and tell people what's going on about this company. We want the forward guidance and all that stuff. Like, bullshit. No, we don't need that. As long as he's keep doing well, number wise, on the balance sheets, showing the right number here and there. That's all you need. That's all you need. I just played with my dad, dreamed with my See, I admire like his dad so much. That's cool. Twitter. I think I might have skipped over. And here's another thing too, that this is what made me feel like he kind of follow all this, and he knows about the bond market. He knows about the market mechanism, like when is it going to fall. So he's been following this, and I'm sure he has enough smart people around him to guide him through that. And that's why he's like all about cutting costs, right? Building up that cash position to the point where it's like a moat, so to speak. No debt, right? Because the high cost environment eats up your profit. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to even expand your store footprint when there's no people to buy your goods and services, right? That makes no sense. So again, he has the thumb on the pulse, so to speak, of the economy. So he's gonna make the right move, right? It's not now. Toilet and all that stuff. And of course, like the meme thing. So we know there's the Fed is printing money, so he's aware of that. Yeah, and all that stuff. Yeah, I couldn't find it. Of course, this is the BCG type of thing. For those of you who doesn't know what that is, this is a consulting company that Ryan Cohen kicked out, and they sued GameStop. They sued GameStop because Ryan Cohen refused to pay the consulting fee. Again, the consulting fee was astronomical, like $40 million or something like that. Ridiculous. $40 million for a company that doesn't make any money, right? Technically, that's what they're saying. And it cut into your bottom line. So, but what are these company doing? I mean, what are they doing? What are they consulting them to do? To do the wrong thing? Why would they want to do that? Like, again, that's why Ryan Cohen is like, if I step on, yeah, the S word. And then there you go. He was a baby. I was born to work. There you go, What did they say? Right? I'm proud of GameStop team. We rock. You see, like, he loved this company. He wanted this company to succeed. And of course, he put his money where his mouth is. Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, he used his own money. It's not like, he got rewarded shares or anything like that. He bought the company shares with his actually own money. No rewarded shares whatsoever. He actually refused to take the share. Look chats below the Blockbuster. Below the Blockbuster. Oh, you mean like the Twitter account for Blockbuster? Is that what you mean, Jay? I know there's a delay, so I'll wait for your response. The 21st century GameStop, okay? And this is another, okay, so he's signaling, hey, we're a new company here. We're gonna run things better. We're gonna do the best we can to be the 21st century, okay? In the 21st century GameStop. So to speak, anyone going to see the movie tonight? And this is like back then. And he has a good sense of humor too, like stuff like this make people are like, what the hell? Yeah. I'm still looking for that Warren Buffett by day, Carl Icahn by night, or something like that. And I like if you follow him, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, but I just want to find that this is Sears' death. Ryan Cohen, rest in peace. Ryan, I love you, but I don't like you, my grandma. That's so funny. And of course, like he's scoping around the company as well to try to turn it around. Blockbuster right here. Is this what you're talking about? Chat. Report of our death are greatly what? Aggravated. It's so funny though. Look below the chat. It's important. What chat? Is this what you're talking about? There's a poop emoji right here. I wish I have a voice chat so you could come on and explain to my audience what you mean by that. Could you explain briefly, since you can't talk? I know. Like just right on, on the chat here. I mean, are you trying to speculate that Ryan Cohen is gonna bring Blockbuster back? I mean, I kind of have an idea. Is that the idea here? Is that he's gonna buy everything that was shorted, like all of this quote unquote dead company, and try to revive it back? This is back in the early days, you guys. So this is 2021, and of course that was the whole when GameStop was running and people were kind of learning about it as we go. Interpret. Let's see. Blockbuster, the one and only. I know, like back then, there was like one Blockbuster left in the whole country, and I don't remember what location that was, but yeah, Blockbuster. Brian Cohen is my dad. Remember that if that one time when Kramer said GameStop was the next Blockbuster, and even Blockbuster is already now. Yeah. All right. I guess yeah, I don't know what you alluded to, but if that's a speculation, honestly, anything could happen. I think Ryan Cohen, I trust him with whatever decision that he make. Whether to bring Blockbuster back, I don't know how that would work. I would need to see the business plan of how to revive it and to make it a viable business, right? Because renting physical movies not gonna kind of that's not gonna happen nowadays. Brian Cohen should invest in a AR and VR. Yeah, of course. Like I'm sure he's looking into that, like for sure. For those of you who doesn't know what AR and VR is, it's alternate reality versus virtual reality. So those goggles and those, device can allow you to interact with the real world, and it just makes you feel like you're like in that environment. If you put that goggles on, you play games in that environment. It's almost like it's real life, right? So you could move your arm and you see your arm right in front of your face type thing. It's a first person, so that's VR. And of course we have CNBC right here saying former Chewy CEO try to push GameStop to become the Amazon of video game industry. Well, I don't know if Ryan Cohen wants to do that immediately, right? And of course, like these people again, this was written by 2020, right? 2020. So around 3 years ago. And the same person, what is it, like Yahoo Finance and all of those media is trying to say, look, he's trying to push this company to be an Amazon and he failed miserably. I'm like, well, it's been 3 years, okay? Number one. Number two, even Amazon can't be Amazon in 3 years. What are you talking about? Amazon is Amazon for what, for Amazon to become Amazon right now, it's like 40 years in the making here. So you give Ryan Cohen 3 years to try to beat Amazon? Get out of here. You see what I mean? Like, these people. Anyway, you guys, I've been here for a long time. I thought I was gonna only do 40, but I had so much fun interact with you guys in the chat. I appreciate all of you for writing and interact with me, putting your 2 cents in. What an amazing group of people. Thank you, Lynn, Lionel, Jay, everyone. Again, yeah, we invest in a good company here. We're doing great. So as far as tomorrow, I don't know. Again, I'm always expecting the worst, but hope for the best type thing. If you were to look at the price action, just know that it's just psychological, but if you want to have fun watching it every day, make sure that you don't miss out on the run. Okay? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Honestly, I'm just like babbling at this point. But again, thank you, everybody. I'm just going to leave you. Sorry, I didn't have any music or anything like that. Just feel like no need to. We have our own music. We beat to our own drum, right, of GME. So we're doing fine. All right. I will see you tomorrow, maybe. We'll see if my internet allows me. But so far so good. It doesn't give me any bad times. The connection is pretty good. Yeah.